Every book sells, including yours. Books have a reputation that will not only change lives, but will also impact the readers alike. Therefore, it will sell no matter what. And with the climate we live in now, with how easy it is to buy books and watch videos like this, I'm telling you, your book, the one you're currently writing, will sell no matter how far you come along with it. If you don't know me, I'm Arnel Arcega. I'm one of the healthiest writers you will ever meet, and in this video, I'm going to discuss how books can sell, including yours. If you want personal help in your own work down below, check out my Instagram along with my other books so I can demonstrate what it means to properly sell a book. The first thing I want you to think about when looking into the cycle of books and how well it sells is time management. Despite the fact that I still have yet to publish my own books and that I lack my own credibility in that field, what I do know is the process of making books. Books are not so different from YouTube videos. The more that I sit with this channel and the more I sit with my own projects, the more connected and interwoven they become. This is the case through the simple act of time management. Time management is one of those many of us heard, whether it's in our school, job, work, or even in this video. We see the process of how much time we have in our hands, and we don't want to waste it in the fact that we should be doing something with our lives. And that comes in the form of books. You see, books are one of those simple habits that come along in a similar fashion to the gym, working out, and even just sleeping. It's a very time-managing area, but it allows our mind to think more sharper, be more creative, and be more concise. In a way, this video is applying those areas of life to make sure your time management is better. For your book, we need to establish how much time you actively spend on it. For one, we should know that your book is one that you actively spend at least 1 to 2 hours on. It sounds quite a lot, but when we think about what you're doing in those 1 to 2 hours, it flies by super fast. If many of you who's went to school before or still in school can take hour-long classes, then I'm telling you just an hour on your own book will allow you to sell it perfectly. Those who desire wanting to write their own book will get the bestseller they deserve. In the thumbnail I was showing, I had two examples of Lighter and The Scourge, two New York bestsellers that I've read earlier this year, and they sold for two completely different reasons. It may be a different time period since both of those came out in two different decades, and yet somehow they are both bestsellers for both the child audience of The Scourge and the more prophetic and adult audience of Lighter. Now this is one where you have to think about your audience, but this allows me to think of more how we can manage your time better. Think about what audience you're trying to strive for. Now when we think about what audience you're trying to strive for within that 1 to 2 hour period you're working, you need to know what kind of readers you're going to get. What kind of reader are you when you write your own stories, and what stories do you consume? By feasting on what you consume and then spreading it out through the book alone, you will allow yourself to think more critically. And in particular, it allows you to understand your type of readers the most. The two types of readers I want you to think about when writing your own book are the ones who take in the information and ones who simply just get it. It's a similar fashion to those in YouTube, in which we have two different sides of viewers, one who watch for entertainment and one who watch for information. This channel is mostly for the information, as I'm trying to do it for an educational purpose. I teach people how to write books, and when I develop myself to become more credible as an author, the better I get at giving advice like so. As a whole, it's a full circular, fun process that allows me to not only make these videos, but also talk about books and reading. And this works especially with how books nowadays can sell. Despite the fact that many claims that books don't make you rich, there is a possibility to do it. What you need to do more of is writing. Within that 1 to 2 hours, yes, you can write not as much as you can, but you can still write. 1 to 2 hours is a lot of time. And when we consider these two types of readers, the ones who just take in information and ones who read for entertainment, pick the one you desire the most. In the example I showed in the intro, The Scourge is one filled mostly with a young adult audience, while Lighter is the full adult. It's mostly a self-help book disguised within poetry and poems, while The Scourge is a simple novel. Nothing about them screams a huge difference, and they're both great in their own rights, but they also deserve to shine in the fact that they have two different types of readers that I want you to understand when writing your own book. If you're trying to write a novel, what kind of audience are you trying to shape it for? And if you're trying to write a self-help book or a nonfiction book, again, what kind of audience are you trying to shape it for? When we understand that, we can finally come to our consensus. The consensus for your story and how we can make it easily sell is all about the passion that comes with it. In my case, writing books is one of the most passionate things I can ever touch and experience. It's a fun, genuine process, and with me working on my upcoming novel, I do appreciate just how long and the fullness of it all. It's a full process that allows me to think more concise and considerate of everything around me, and that's what I want you to understand when writing your own book. These books, Lighter and The Scourge, despite it not being examples of my own, are some of my favorites from this year purely because of the fact that they allowed me to think more about how I write my own books, as well as the sheer passion you can invoke through the words alone. This is great to understand because both of these are bestsellers, along with some of your personal favorite books you can possibly think of. Bestsellers don't mean anything as much in the modern day anymore. What used to be a huge process in the big area now becomes something of a just synonymous title. And while we think less of that, it also allows us to see more understanding. It allows us to be more understanding and more considerate of how well we should write our stories. If you want it to sell, we need to gather the audience that deserves. And you can see the video of how to advertise your book after this one. For now, I do believe that for this consensus, we need to think more critically of how you write your book and what audience you're going for. With how well you manage your time and how to read your books, here's the full action step that I personally believe will allow you to consider your consensus, aka your purpose. The biggest tip from me personally, Arnel Arcega, one of the single best tips I will ever give out in a video, is to work like a lion. Let me explain. There is a difference between working like a lion and working like a mule. On one hand, you have someone that works very little, 1 to 2 hours, and just does other things in their life. A mule, however, continues to write every single day. I experimented with both in the past month of August, and within that experience, I got better results in my own book through working like a lion instead of working like a mule. I spent several hours one day, 4 to 5 hours staring at the same screen, and then the other day just a good 45 minutes. And within that experience, I've learned that not only less is more, but also more is more. It's a weird convoluted process, but I'll just put it bluntly, you have to write more within less. Make more words within less time, and that process not only allows you to be more general, but it also allows you to be more free. As an author, I don't believe we should be writing all the time. It's a good process, similar to being a content creator, but you should also do this time to spend other things in life. Go out there with the world, get yourself a drink, go on a date. Get these experiences similar to lions, in which they're just spending most of their time sitting on their asses, kind of doing nothing. It's an ironic twist of fate, but I do believe working like a lion will determine how well you write your book. With how easy it is to write a book nowadays, with the advice I'm giving you, I'm telling you, it's a good, fun idea that will take time and effort. But what you need to understand is how well you use that time and use it in an effective, well-diversed manner. God damn it, Arctic monkeys. I hope you can use that information well and continue to write your own book. I'm not telling you to stop writing, but what I am telling you is to work harder with less. Check out my Instagram down below so I can personally help you out with your own story, along with my other books down in the link in the description. I hope you can use those pieces to not only make your own book, but also help me build this community I've been working on for a good couple weeks now. Until then, keep on reading, keep on writing, and take care.